Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to the 100 Days of Christmas. This is day 99. Can you believe that? I'm shocked. So today we're in the kitchen and we are making a very, very simple recipe. It is called the 2-ingredient pumpkin cake. Now, I said 2, but really there might be 3. We'll see. And then you can decide when we're done. So let me show you what we've got going on here. This is very precarious because I've never set up in here before and I'm not sure how this is going to work. I think this will work though. I think. I have a very small kitchen. I have a very small everything. You guys know that. So let me show you what we've got going on. Let's turn this a little bit more. Okay, that's as good as it gets. So we have 2 ingredients. We have a spice cake mix, and I got this for $1.75, $1.75. There were cheaper ones, but they were out of that one, and I specifically wanted the spice one. I got 1 can of pure pumpkin. Now this is a Walmart brand, and I did find that the prices for this stuff was cheapest at Walmart. I paid $1.20 for this can. So 2, 3, we're at $4 on this. Now, my 3rd ingredient is something that we're testing out. I wish I could see better. Something that we are testing out, and that is 1 egg. And I paid nothing for this because it came from my chicken. But you guys can do the math on that if you need to know what 1 egg costs. $1.75. Oops, $2.75. Yeah, so right in the neighborhood of $3 so far for this. And we're going to take our spice cake mix, open it up. I should have done this ahead of time, but I did not. And I don't have any. I do have scissors handy. Hold on 1 second, and we're back. Scissors. Scissors handy. Okay, so we just take our cake mix and dump it into a bowl. Make sure your bowl is big enough to be whisking this stuff around. Okay, we're going to take our can of pumpkin. We're going to take the whole can. Now, it's really important. This is pure pumpkin. This is not pumpkin pie mix. And we're just going to plop that whole thing right on top of the cake mix. Easy peasy. I was really surprised when I saw some of the prices of the pumpkin. The difference between a regular grocery store and Walmart, it was half as much. So check around for your prices, look for sales. And this time of year, I pick up 5 or 6 cans of pumpkin because I do find that I use it for a variety of things throughout the season. Okay, now I've got the pumpkin right on top of my cake mix. I'm going to get a little bit of a smush to get it going, just so it's not quite so powdery. And you could actually do the whole thing like this, but I find as I get old and decrepit, I get lazy about this kind of stuff, and I want to take the easy way out when I'm doing things. So I'm going to use my blender. I'm going to use the blender, so I'm just going to clean this off a little bit. And I'm going to set it right over here, because I will need that again in a minute. Set it right there where it's not causing you trouble. Now, get out your regular old blender. Nothing fancy about this at all. Just a basic blender. Get it down in there and just blend it up until it's mixed. It should only take a minute or 2. Now, I have made this before in the past, but I had kind of forgot about it. And I do really, really like this. And there are a lot of different cakes where you can do the same process with. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to try a couple of different ones to see how they are, see if they've withheld the test of time. But specifically, I wanted to do this one first because it's officially pumpkin season, right? Okay, here we go. Get all that extra off. There's a lot left in there. We're going to have to scrape those batters. Going to scrape those batters good. Because this is a really, really thick mixture. It's not going to be thin like a regular cake mix will be. So you're going to need to take a minute here and clean these out. Okay, I got all the goo off the batters and popped it in the bowl and give the bowl a nice little swipe. And you can see this is a very thick batter. It's not like your regular cake batter, but that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. Now, I have 2 cake pans, and I have sprayed them with nonstick spray. Use whatever kind you want. What I happen to have was this, and I don't think it makes any matter what kind you use. I just grabbed what I had available. Now, we're going to do something here. I'm going to take roughly half of this batter, and I'm going to throw it in one of the cake pans. Just like you would with any other cake. And then give it a little spread because, again, this is super, super thick. So we're just going to spread this out a little bit. And even that is fighting me. Give this a spread. Now, I think as this thing sits, it's just going to kind of spread out a little bit more. Let's clear this thing off again. Clean, 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 wipe, clean, wipe, clean, wipe. Okay, now this one is ready to go. But like I said, we're going to try this 2 different ways. And I'm going to just set this aside and let that kind of smush in a little bit before I put it in the oven. We're going to take our egg and we are going to add egg to the second half. And the only reason we're doing this is because I want to try this out. I've never done this before. Put that whole egg in there. And actually that shell will go to the chickens. And then we're going to incorporate that egg into the other half. If I were doing this for the entire cake, I would use 2 eggs. But I just want to try and see what the difference is. So I'm just using 1. So we'll give this a good mix. Okay, that took me about 1 minute. And you can see it's definitely smoother. To me, this looks like natural peanut butter at this point. So this is what you're looking for on this. And we are going to take our second cake pan and just plop this right down in there. And again, I have already sprayed this. So we've got the non-stick in there. A lot of the recipes I looked at had you doing this in an 8x8 pan, which is fine, except I didn't have 2 of them. I only had 1. So I thought, well, it's a cake mix, and cake mixes have you put them in cake pans, so we're going to try it this way. Okay, so let's see if this makes any difference in how this thing comes out. You can see it's definitely smoother. Definitely smoother. And we're going to wipe off all the excess. There's a lot of wiping off the excess of this recipe, isn't there? In fact, I'm wondering if, oh yeah, it smooths out easier with this knife than it does with my spatula. Definitely that's better. That's definitely better. Okay, so we got it nice and smoothish. Okay, and I want to show you the difference between the 2. So hold on 1 sec. Now I'm going to smooth this out. Look at the difference between the 2. Without the egg, with the egg. Way smoother. And I'm going to use this knife to smooth this out because that worked way better than... Because it's kind of sliding around with all that non-stick spray in there. but this works much better. Now it's way more even. Alrighty then. I think we are ready to go. Okay, so we are going to pop this in the oven at 375. Now again, remember all of the recipes that I found on this said to use a 8x8 pan. I'm using the 2 cake pans. I wonder if this says anything about how long. 2 round pans, 26 to 31 minutes. And my original recipe that I had said, I believe it was 25 to 27 minutes. So basically it's exactly the same. 26 to 31, 25 to 27. So I'm going to put this in for 25, 26 minutes, and then I'm going to put this in for 25 to 26 minutes, then I'll check it and see if it looks like it's done. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in the oven right now, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, everybody, we are back. I took the cake out of the oven. It took exactly 25 minutes. The one with the egg, I actually, when I put the toothpick in, it still had a tiny bit on there, so I put it in for 1 more minute, and then it seemed to be much better. So I don't know if that minute made any difference or not, but it made me feel better about the whole process. So let's see what we got going on here. All right, I let them cool off, and then I just took my cake knife, I don't know what that's called, spreader, and popped it under there, and look at this. That thing popped right out of those pans with no problem whatsoever. Not so much as a crumb left in those pans. So I wanted to show you how easily that came out of the pan. Now, I just popped these onto a plate so they could cool better, and so I can taste it, and then we're gonna frost it. Now I cut this in half just so we could see what it looked like on the inside. And there's a little bit of crumbs that came out, so let's taste those crumbs. Now this is the one without the egg. It's okay. It's okay. Definitely okay. But you can see it did not smooth out at all while it was baking. That batter was so thick, and it did not smooth out at all while it was baking. And what I want to show you, ooh, that is hot underneath there still. What I wanted to show you is what this looks like on the inside. So you can see it's completely cooked, but it is definitely a little crumbly. In fact, it's falling apart here. A little crumbly. Not terrible. It'll be fine. It'll still eat just fine. And then we've got the other one. Now this is the one that we put the egg in. You can see how much smoother it is on top. And still it did not spread out like a normal cake would have. It's just as bumpy and lumpy as when we put it in. And it definitely looks more cake-like in the middle. Absolutely. It's holding up better. And it has, let me take this tiny little bit on the side off and just taste that. But it definitely has more of a texture like a regular cake. Smells fabulous. Smells like pumpkin bread. I think this one tastes a tiny bit better. This one almost has a bit of a raw pumpkin flavor to it, where this one does not. So we'll see after we get it frosted and give it a try. Now this is completely optional, but I picked up some cream cheese frosting, and this again is Walmart brand, and I paid $2.25 for this. Now this is the whipped one, and I just thought that'd be a little easier to spread on this. You don't have to use that. You certainly can use whatever kind you want, or none at all. Some people just put a blob of whipped cream on top of it. But I am going to put the cream cheese on here. And see what that tastes like. I think it's going to be much better with the cream cheese. And spread that out. Does not take much at all when you've got one of these cake spreaders. Plus it doesn't have to be pretty. Does not have to be pretty. I might put a little bit more on there. So even with this, we are still in the neighborhood of about $6 for this cake. This definitely added to the cost. There we go. Now, calorie-wise, without the frosting, these run about 125, 130 calories per slice. With the frosting, it says 140 calories per 2 tablespoons. So let's say that's per serving. So that's going to just about double the calories on this. And I'm putting this on pretty thick because I want all of it covered. And plus I like this kind of frosting. So I use the better part of that can. And I will probably finish it up before we're done. Okay, so now let's cut this and take a little taste of it and see what we think. Thank you. So this is the one that had the egg in it. And you can see that looks like a regular slice of cake. And this is the one that did not have the egg in it. Boy, it is crumbly. It's very crumbly. I can't even pick it up with that. Let's see here. Let's see if this works. It's just weird again. Really falling apart. Okay. And I might have missed the original cut, and that's why it was falling apart like that. Okay, so let's give this a taste. So this is what it looks like. That's the one with the egg. This is the one without the egg, and you can definitely see it is definitely crumbly. But we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. It tastes really, really good. And I'm wondering if that does taste better. My opinion, put the egg in it. It absolutely changes the flavor. It tastes more like a regular cake. It's got a better texture. It holds together better. Much better flavor. I can't believe one egg makes that much of a difference. Okay, now, I was thinking, just for fun, I'm going to take some pumpkin pie spice. Pumpkin pie spice, just your basic pumpkin pie spice that you can get anywhere. And I'm just going to sprinkle a dab of that over the top of it. For one thing, I think it'll make it look prettier. And it's going to add a touch more flavor of that pumpkin flavor. Let's see if that makes any difference at all. Makes a huge difference. I don't honestly know if it's that much better though. Definitely put the egg in there. I can't believe the difference. Absolutely cannot believe the difference that that egg made. Super good though. Okay. So, cost-wise, about $6 with the frosting. Now, if you just want to do whipped cream, that's going to be way cheaper. But I like cream cheese frosting. And so I'm always going to be the one to put on the cream cheese frosting. Sprinkle a little of that pumpkin pie spice on there. See what you think. I think it adds a lot of flavor to it. But, you know, if you don't have it, don't go out and buy it special for it. This is good. I think this is definitely something I would make again. I think everybody here is going to enjoy it. I can't wait to have this as our treat while we're watching our movie on Thursday, our Christmas movie. It worked up very quickly. The whole process took about an hour, give or take. And I don't have anything negative, but I would definitely go with the egg. And I would make this again, but I would definitely put the egg in it. So you're going to want to add 2 eggs to that box mix. So you're going to have your box mix, your can of pumpkin, and 2 eggs. Pop that baby in a 375 oven for 25 minutes. And I think you're going to be golden. Yeah. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this really quick and easy recipe. This is a great last minute if you got company showing up or you forgot to buy something for somebody's birthday. All right. We'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.